Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of The Force of Flow. I just want to check in, ask how everybody's doing. It's a wonderful, bright, sunny day. It's cold outside. When's the last time you took a few moments for yourself? I'd like to start off with a few minutes of centering, just bringing yourself into a state of focus, lightness, stresslessness. I'd like you to close your eyes and just start taking a few breaths. Let the activities and the stress from the last week start to melt off your shoulders and just start to dissipate with every breath you take. When you inhale, hold it for a few seconds and then take a deep breath out. Inhale, hold that for a few seconds and let it all out. And with every breath in and out, you can just feel the tension and the stress melt away as you begin to feel you're in the moment, the here and the now, fully focused, and all the weight that your body carries with it starts slowly and surely going away. From your forehead to your eyes, to your mouth and your shoulders, your arms, hands, and belly, to your thighs, legs, ankles, and toes. I'd like you to start counting backwards from 5 to 1. And when you reach 1, I'd like you to slowly open up your eyes and encounter what you feel at this moment. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and get started? In this episode, I'm going to talk a little bit about the masculine and feminine, the yin, the yang. I would like to introduce a woman by the name of Uta Cup in this conversation and discuss the possibilities we as individuals have to taking action regarding raising awareness, gender equality. Where does it start? So I was talking with a friend and a colleague the other day, and she mentioned that I should go ahead and take a look at a video called Feminin and Agil, warum das Digital Zeitalter weiblich ist. Translated, Feminine and Agile, why is the digital age feminine? Uta Cup, she is a coach and trainer, author. She has led multiple agile leadership trainings and agile transformations in companies and is a pioneer in software development. So in her video, she mentioned that there was a study done in 2016 by the Technical University of Munich where it shows, again, following the guidelines of diversity in companies, diversity in teams, that you need at least 25% of those teams to be filled by women in order to increase the innovation through the gender diversity. Fascinating survey, statistically proven. I'd really like to dig deeper into what the criteria was to have come up with such a number. In her video, she goes on to talk about the yin and the yang principle. So this is something that in the Chinese culture, the elders had already known about this. And for those of you who aren't familiar, the yang is the feminine quality, where the yang is the masculine qualities. And at this moment in time, Cup goes on to explain that the time that we are in, the time of uncertainty, a time of little structure, a time of volatility, that this is the time where the yin really comes through. Some of the qualities that she mentions and that are known for the yin are, it's all about feeling the internal. It's about being flexible. It's about being creative. The feminine is all about being relationship oriented, more the unstructured, using our intuition. We do it together, and it is more emotional. On the other side, of course, to counter that, you have the masculine qualities, the yang. So there, it's about the external and the doing. It's more mental. You do it on your own. It's separate. It's structured, more goal oriented, and strategic. So it's no wonder that men feel more drawn to the masculine qualities and women feel more drawn to the feminine qualities. But if I'm a female, I still have masculine qualities within me. And if I'm a male, I still have feminine qualities within me. And of course, the idea is that the balance between the two is ideal. And that's fascinating to me. So, not only should we have a balance between genders within groups, within companies, and so forth, but even the balance within the individual itself. I wonder what kind of experiences you have had where perhaps you don't have a balance, and how does this imbalance affect your daily life? Would really like to hear what your thoughts are on this if you'd like to share. So, another fantastic question is, how can we bring men into the boat so that they actually stand up with us? Raising the awareness is great, but how do we go about doing that? In my last episode, it was all about these facts and figures, and also ladies voicing the fact that this isn't just going to be solved by the companies alone. So, by the economy, by the people working. But where do we start? I think she's absolutely right. And it needs to be someplace more intimate, starting at home. So, how can we start having this conversation at home? And how does it expand? So, in my household, I think we have more of an equal share of responsibilities. I would even sometimes say my husband takes care more of the home at times than I do, where I will say I spend some time with the kids doing homework, but there are just as many situations where the roles will be reversed. And the fact that we constantly communicate, it isn't tedious, it isn't set in stone, but we try to be flexible with one another and within our family and with our kids. And there is a constant communication feedback loop taking place. So, how can we share our household chores and all our child care equally? Number one, I think the idea of being able to present the women and the men with equal time off is a really good start. With the older kids in your house, if you happen to have kids, it's time to start having age appropriate conversations with them. Like, why is your family unit set up as it is? How do you guys share certain things? Is it a bad thing if sometimes one of you takes on more of a responsibility than the other? Those are just some of the questions that come to mind. But again, it starts at home. But yes, then we carry it into our workplace. And how can we spread the word there? I think raising awareness requires us to hire diversity. And in order to hire diversity, we need to write better job descriptions. We need to pay the same salary for the same type of work. Help women also gain power. Creating a community of practice. So inviting like minded women individuals. So in this instance, it doesn't have to be all at once. Invite the closest friends, colleagues, the ones that you've talked to about these kinds of topics before. Start the conversation with them. Ask how you can widen the circle. It's like throwing a pebble in a lake. The ripples start small, but slowly but surely the circles of influence radiate outward. And it doesn't mean that you cannot have men. It is also very important that men come to your group, explain and share their experiences. But it's still important to have this group for you guys as women so that there's this support that is constant and everlasting, becomes the sisterhood. Another thing not to forget is go out and send people from your circles, from diversity, from your groups to conferences and workshops. And there are really interesting conferences for women, like the Women in Tech, the Global Conference on Women and Gender. There's also one, International Women's Day 2023, which deals this year with innovation and technology for gender equality. In this way, you're listening, you're reflecting, you're bringing that back to your company so that, again, here the awareness level rises. You're being inclusive because at the end of the day, I firmly believe it's about inclusivity, but not leaving these circles of support and influence. And it's not stopping there. You bring it back to your home. You share this with your family. You talk about this with your kids. And with time, that is which widens the circle. And hopefully, people will carry this further and further out. And if everybody did this, could you imagine what kind of an increase in awareness we have? What changes will be made? And again, changes are gradual, changes are always there. But this is a way that we as individuals can make an impact. I want to thank you guys for joining in this episode. I'd really like to, as always, get your feedback, hear about your experiences. Let me know what's on your mind. Looking forward to seeing you in the next episode. And until then, may the force of flow be with you. Bye-bye.